Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the use of barbed fittings on your Magura HS33 brakes, as I feel that it would be nice if we discuss about them a bit, just before I show you how I managed to almost eliminate them from my competition trial brakes. But this is a topic for a future video, so make sure that you'll get notified when it's about to get released, or check the links in the description below if it's been more than a week by the time this one has been released. So today we're about to talk about the Magura HS33 barbed fittings and what's the best way to fit them into your hoses. Disclaimer, I really hate the barbed fittings, as although they're easy to fit to your brake hoses, they're quite unreliable because they are prone to failure in case you hit them with your foot or during a crash. Barbed fittings are designed to get pushed into your hoses, and they actually seal the hydraulic system by stretching the nylon hose, given that the pressure that is built up inside the HS33 system is not high enough to cause the seal to leak. However, this extra strain that the side holes of the hoses are put into make them more prone to breakage, especially in case that you hit your rear brake hoses with your heel or during a crash. Anyway, I'll stop talking about the reasons why I don't like them, and let's talk about the alternatives that you have in order to fit a barbed fitting to a hose and what's the best solution in my opinion. So the most common way to insert a barbed fitting to a hose is by using the relevant Magura tool, which comprises by two halves, and to do that you have to clamp the hose into that and then hammer the barbed fitting into the hose. But be careful when you use this tool, as you have to make sure that the hose is sticking outside the clamp for about the length that the barbed fitting is to be inserted inside it. And this is the reason that I never liked this tool, but we are going to discuss a bit more about that later on. Also, in case that you use this kind of tools, you have to make sure that the barbed fitting is driven straight into the hose, and the easiest way to do that is to use any pin or nail with a diameter that fits inside the fitting and length adequate to pass way over the end of the fitting and into the hose. This will ensure that your barbed fitting is driven straight into the hose, and thus the stretching around the hose will be as uniform as possible. When I was using barbed fittings on my HS33 brakes, I was using as a pin a piece of a spoke that was modified by straightening the J-bend at its end to fit flush on the barbed fitting. This worked pretty well for me, and I encourage you to try it out the next time you're about to fit a barbed fitting on your hose. Apart from using the standard Magura clamping blocks as soft gels to clamp your hose, there are some other fancier and more expensive tools to do it. So you can use the special Magura tool that is designed to do that job, or other similar tools that can be used in the same manner, such as this one that I bought last year to give it a try. However, I didn't like it, as sometimes it struggled to safely clamp the hose and it tends to damage the hose if you try to over-tighten it. Thankfully, it can be effectively used to insert other inserts into the hoses of my disc brakes, and so it has been put into use after all. But I haven't shown you what I think to be the best solution to fit a barbed fitting into your HS33 hoses. Having tried many different alternatives, I designed my own version of clamping blocks so as to change a specific design feature that the standard Magura clamping blocks didn't have, and I think that makes quite a difference. So as I told you before, using the standard Magura clamping blocks, you have to make sure that almost 10 mm of the hose sticks out of the clamp, and I didn't like it, as I've noticed that the alignment of the hose may not be perfect while pushing the fitting into the hose. So I designed a new set of clamping blocks that supports the hose as the fitting is getting inserted and the walls of the hose are being expanded. I 3D printed the prototype, and I was surprised of how well this one turned out. Actually, I used my prototype for about 1.5 years for my regular bike maintenance, and I have to admit that using this custom set of clamping blocks in conjunction with the spoke I told you before, I had perfect insertion of barbed fittings every single time. However, as I have already mentioned, at the moment I have eliminated all the barbed fittings on my HS33 brakes, as I had kicked and broken my rear hose 3 times, and I don't want to take the chance for a 4th one. but I saved this one for another video, so keep in touch. Nevertheless, if you still use barbed fittings and you liked my redesigned set of clamping blocks, just send me a DM on my Instagram account or send me an email on my new website that will be the home of anything bike related I make for me, and I think that will be also useful for some of you guys. Also at my website you will find a printable STL file that can be used to 3D print your own clamping blocks in case that you have a 3D printer. So my new website is part of my new project that is called ksi-cycling, and it's influenced by the Greek letter xi that is pronounced ksi in Greek and is the most strange letter in my name as spelled in Greek. You can find the link to my new website in the description below. I'm very excited as I have many ideas for new and improved tools and parts that I intend to share with you guys via the ksi-cycling project. Some of these ideas are already in use and are being tested, and some others are still in the drawing board, so stay tuned. So that's it for today, and I hope you like this one. However, I'm curious about your preferred way to insert the barbed fitting to your HS33 hoses. Do you use any fancy tool or just the standard Magura clamping blocks? Just let me know in the comment section below. Also, can you guess what I did to eliminate all the barbed fittings from my HS33 brakes? Stay tuned and I'll show you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, ride your bikes and make sure that your barbed fittings are in good condition.